New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
He's that dude. I'm praying. I doubt that it'll happen, but I'm praying that the New York Knicks find a way to trade for him because he was a Leon Rose client. I really wish that something like that could happen. I love Devon Booker. I think he's got that kind of game, but the environment that you're in sometimes can sully what your abilities can ultimately bring to the table, and that's really the problem.
What's going on? It's J.Ellis from the Nick of Time show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. You know what time it is, right? It's just us today, man. The dynamic duo. Who do I have with me but the man, the myth, the legend, and the guy with the stats and the facts?
Ryan G in the building. Yes, sir.
Dynamic duo back.
We here.
Exactly. If you can tell, there's no Edson today, and there's no Catherine today. That's all right.
Yeah.
Because we holding it down. And today we're gonna talk about some light news that happened this week. A lot having to do with Devon Booker and also our favorite new hire.
Shout out to World Wide Wes.
World Wide Wes. Now, as you heard from the intro from our guy Stephen A. Smith, he's hoping that Devon Booker actually joins the Knicks. But I'm not sure if that is going to be the Knicks' reality. But after he said that, there's news that's come out. Jonathan Macri of Sports Illustrated, he reported that Booker was a name to keep his eye on because of his connections with the CAA, and who also has connection with
Shout out to World Wide Wes.
World Wide Wes. According to Jonathan Macri, Devon Booker and World Wide Wes are close, and it dates back to Devon Booker's days in Kentucky. Both reports from Mark Berman and John Macri suggest that the Knicks will look to trade for Devon Booker if he seems like he isn't happy. So Ryan, given what you know about Booker and the Knicks, how seriously can we take this? Is this fact or fiction? Are we living in a fairy tale world? Like, what do you make of this stuff, man?
I mean, at the moment, as Knicks fans, we have to we're living in fiction at the moment because you have to think of it this way. In the last few years, besides Melo and Stoudemire, have the Knicks been able to actually attract big name free agents? No. But I think with Devon Booker now, this might have a chance to be a different story because you have to think of it this way. Where Devon Booker is right now, he's with the Phoenix Suns. Throughout his career in Phoenix, the Phoenix Suns they've been trash. Let's call it what it is. They have not been a good team.
Yeah, but we haven't exactly been the pristine model of, an NBA franchise either.
That is true, but here's the thing though. Because now you wouldn't be surprised if Devon Booker, when his time comes to be a free agent, that he's going to want to leave and actually explore options. And the thing is that if he has certain connections in New York, maybe they could be able to convince him to come to New York. But again, the Knicks would have to do their job first and foremost by actually making a competitive team so that you can actually attract a free agent like Devon Booker to come. But me as a Knicks fan, of course, I'm going to be pessimistic because it's when was the last time we actually attracted a big name free agent? But at the same time, it's okay, if these connections are in place to where they might be able to convince Devon Booker to come, but these guys in the front office better make sure that they actually do what they need to do to make the Knicks a competitive team so that they can make the Knicks attractive to a guy like Devon Booker.
See, you mentioned something earlier about time, and that's the weird thing about this time, right? He just signed a contract 2019-2020, receiving $27 million a year right now. And that goes up exponentially each year by the time. He's going to be a free agent in the year 2023. And that last year, he'll be making $36 million a year. hefty contract. So when you're talking about the possibility of getting a disgruntled star in Devin Booker here, you really have to think about what is the likelihood of someone who has 4 years left on his contract coming to the Knicks? Doesn't seem likely. Now, like, we just finished watching Anthony Davis do it, but the way he did it was messy, man. It was messy, Ryan. Like, it just seemed an insurmountable odd. You have to get his agent to put stuff out in the paper. You would have to indirectly list a bunch of teams he's not willing to go to. Like, that is the blueprint to force yourselves out of a team situation when you have that many years left on your contract.
Yeah.
And I just don't see that. I don't know. I know this is a players' league and the power is shifting, but for us to get him, I feel like that's at least 2 to 3 years away.
Yeah, like, that's really my whole point, because, like, right now, I don't think the Knicks have a solid chance. Like you said, he just signed a new contract, and right now, if you look at the Knicks roster, the Knicks don't have the pieces in place to even trade for Devin Booker. But the thing is, like, the way they project the Knicks right now, they're projecting the Knicks to become good within maybe the next 3 to 4 seasons. Like, they're predicting a rebuild, and then by those 3 to 4 seasons pass, Devin Booker is going to be approaching at least, maybe the last year of his contract, or maybe there's going to be 1 year left where it's like, okay, if he makes it be known that, I'm not going to re-sign here and I want to move on, maybe by then the Knicks will have the pieces to either trade for Devin Booker, or you just wait till free agency and you sign him to the team that you have in place at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, to me, that's just a long way to go. The hope would be to pair him with RJ Barrett, right? I guess that would be the hope.
Yeah.
Because right now, anything involving a Booker trade is, of course has to include RJ Barrett, has to include
and probably Mitch.
Round picks, Mitch to the kitchen sink, the everything. Everything. Probably a bad contract. I don't even know what the Phoenix Suns contract situation is looking like right now, but it seems like it would take an awful lot at this point. But I like the guy for sure. Like, if in the event that did happen, he would instantly be the best player, best scorer, go-to guy, 26 points a game, and this NBA is nothing to sneeze at. 48% from the field, gets to the line an awful lot.
Yeah, he's also a real good 3-point shooter as well. So
exactly, kind of like a Melo situation, man. If you put the right pieces around him, I feel like Devin Booker could be really good for any NBA team. Yeah, I just think that, I don't know. It seems really far fetched that's going to happen to me.
Yeah, it's far fetched at the moment, but like I said, this is something that you have to look at from a future standpoint. He's not going to come now. But we have to see where the Knicks are 3 to 4 years down the line when his contract is dwindling down, to see if there's actually a realistic shot to get him.
I'm tired, Ryan. I'm tired, man. I'm tired, dog.
For real. We need a winner in New York, man. It's about time.
I'm tired of this shit. You can guess what button I hit right now, Ryan. I'm tired of that, man.
Word.
I'm tired. I'm tired of the hope. I'm tired. I'm tired of rumors. I know everybody else is tired of rumors too.
Yeah.
But I'm not holding my breath. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not holding my breath. I'm hoping we draft well, we develop some guys, and hopefully some things go our way. Somebody turns out. Knox, Barrett, Frank turns into a serviceable player. Maybe we get lucky, get a ping pong ball and LaMelo becomes something.
Yeah, Knicks definitely need, like, what was the last time? I think the last time the Knicks actually drafted somebody and that person actually became a great player was Patrick Ewing. And that was like 85. So, we're due for like something where the ping pong balls drop our way and we actually draft a generational talent for once.
I'm not even going to get into that because some people might say that was. Never mind. Moving on. Moving on. More news for your head top.
Shout out to World Wide Wes. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
I had to play the whole drop that time about World Wide Wes because there's been rumors that World Wide Wes. I keep saying Wes. World Wide Wes has been running the Knicks behind the scenes for about 15 years or so. He's been in Dolan's ear telling him to do this, do that, move left, shoot right. But the biggest blasphemous move that has just hit the streets, aka New York Post, is Wesley was the driving force behind Dolan moving on from Grunwald after a 54-28 season. Last time we had a winning season. Last time we made the playoffs. Not only that, Wesley recommended bringing back Steve Mills. Things that make you go, or shit. Ryan, make sense of this, man. Make sense of this, man. Make me a believer.
Okay, here's the thing.
I'm sorry. No, you can't. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Because if this is true, it makes me wonder why everybody is praising this move. Because if he was really the one making the moves behind the scenes for the Knicks, and you see the Knicks in the past 15 years, how they have been as a franchise, I don't understand why you would be praising that man as vice president of the Knicks. So something's going on. It's either the media is happy that the Knicks are in perpetual trash mode, or these rumors are not true and the man wasn't making no decisions behind the scenes and this is all fabricated. So I'm trying to figure out what's really going on here. Who's telling the truth?
I have a few theories. One, remember a while ago, we had Tommy Beer on the program. And I've been thinking about asking him to come back as well for a follow-up about all this
shout out to World Wide Wes
stuff that's happening, right? So Tommy Beer came on. He said he believes that the media isn't, criticizing World Wide Wes and Leon Rose because of their connections. They still kind of want to be in good with those guys and not rock the boat because that's how they get their stories, and it's just bad move to criticize them publicly. That's one thing. Second thing is World Wide Wes in general just seems to be a really nice guy. He just seems like he's just done everything for everybody, has now asked for anything in return. And because of that, no one's really criticizing. That could be us. That could be it as well. Number 3, Wes seems like the type of guy who just looks out for peoples that he's cool with.
Mm-hmm.
And you will have to think that maybe Steve Mills is one of the peoples he was really cool with.
I mean, there's a possibility.
Spitball. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, Ryan.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I can understand why the media would want to remain on World Wide Wes's good side and actually praise the hire, because you have to think about it this way. If you're a journalist and you're looking for stories and things of that nature, you don't want to upset, one of the guys that got, that's one of the guys that has one of the power positions within the Knicks.
Right.
So it's like, if you still want to get your, your stories and things like that, you want to stay on that guy's good side. But at the same time, though, it's like the truth got to be out there, and and those journalists that actually had the balls to be like, you know what, this man's been messing up the Knicks for the past 15 seasons, and I'm gonna put that story out there and let the people know what the real is. You got to give that journalist props, because even though that journalist might get shut down by the Knicks and he might not get no story throughout the whole, reign of World Wide Wes being there, but at the same time, it's like, thank you, my guy, for putting out that truth if it's really the truth.
Other part of this story is Wes is such a mythical creature that people don't even really know how much his hand has been in or out of the cookie jar. Like, no one can really pinpoint exactly what he's done. I've been listening to, shout out to Matt Creek. I listened to his podcast lately, and he had a gentleman on there who wrote a bunch of stuff for GQ and all of these magazines. And he did a piece on World Wide Wes, and he was talking about the mysteriousness of that man. And he pretty much stalked dude for years and still couldn't completely figure out exactly what he does for people exactly, but he came close to figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the legacy of Wes in a nutshell. So
the man's like a thief in the night. No one can trace this guy, man.
My dude is Batman. I'm telling you, man. My Batman analogy stands, man. Batman put away the cape and joined the police force. Is now with the Knicks. I'm telling you, man. He's not trying to work in the shadows no more.
Word.
Oh, I have to bring something else up too.
All right.
Because we talked about this before we started recording, Ryan. The other part of the bad news about the firing, if this is true, is bad. It's been rumored that Glenn was against the Bargnani trade.
Which makes sense.
I mean, yes. But the rumor is that is the reason why he was fired. And Steve Mills was brought in later. And as we all know, Bargnani is or was at one point a CAA agent.
Shout out to World Wide Wes.
Yeah, he made a worldwide mess right there, if that's true. So
yeah,
when you put all these pieces together, at the end of the day, the Knicks possibly got screwed because CAA was kind of doing their job by looking out for their clients.
Mm-hmm.
But now you kind of have to figure out where the real allegiance lie. You know what I mean?
True that.
Can't just be looking out for CAA clients only. You have to be looking out for the best interests of the Knicks. And hopefully that is the direction it goes. I will say this. Despite all the crazy rumors and articles I've been reading so far, the rumor is he's also had a hand in hiring all the new people that's in the front office right now. Now, if that's true, I would feel like we're on the right track because I love the new additions we had to the front office. Of course, this can all go away if you hire the wrong coach. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, if he's really behind, all the new hires and stuff like that, then clearly, he's doing a good job. And I guess if he has done any of those things in the past, he's kind of making up for it at the moment. but
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's like, because I really don't know if he had his hand in the cookie jar like that with the Knicks back in the day. But my thing is, if he was involved with that, just right now, just continue to do what you're doing. You're making good moves.
Yeah.
Continue to make those good moves and bring the Knicks back to prominence. That's all I care about. And everything in the past can be forgiven.
It could be forgiven.
Exactly.
It is funny too because you start to wonder who's really in charge. I'm starting to wonder if he had a hand in making all these moves. Is Leon Rose the face and World Wide Wes the puppet master?
Shout out to World Wide Wes. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It could be. It could be.
I'm just saying.
After all, Leon Rose is an agent. You know, basically his whole career. I mean, the man really has no experience as, you know, what is he, president of basketball operations?
Yeah.
I mean, he really has no experience. So, I mean, he has to put people around him that, you know, knows what they're doing and have the connections.
Exactly. And what I've been reading about him is that's his whole point. His whole thing is, I don't know everything. I'm putting people around me who know a lot more, and I'm listening to them. That's been his whole approach, which is really pretty much a good approach, really, when you think about it.
True.
Especially for a guy like that who's never done this before. Well, Morales has never done this before either. Or has he? I think we got all. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
One more time, hitting this drop one more time.
Shout out to World Wide Wes. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here, Ryan. Oh man. Moving on to something interesting. Killian Hayes, right? Killian Hayes. A Knicks prospect has been interviewed by the Knicks over Zoom. And according to, I believe it was Daily Knicks by way of French Knicks Pod, according to them, Killian Hayes did not interview with the Cleveland Cavaliers because Cleveland Cavaliers were not interested in interviewing with him. Also interesting, Killian Hayes has interviewed with the Orlando Magic and the Boston Celtics. So if you're looking at the scope, if you're like trying to peek at Tankathon and figure out like how can this affect us, you start to think, what are the teams that need a point guard? And how can this affect us, right? Because
Yeah.
when you look at the whole landscape, it seems like we can end up with Killian Hayes. Possibly. Right? Number one, Golden State. Does Golden State need a point guard?
They got Steph Curry. Just that's a no. Yeah, that's a no.
Number two, Cleveland Cavaliers. We just read to you that they don't need a point guard.
They got Garland and they got Sexton, and I mean, a tape just dropped the other day where Garland was busting ass, you know, and you know, during some, you know, basketball runs. So I mean,
I still feel like if Garland was the number one option and not played as a shooting guard, he had a nastier first year, but that's my opinion.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what Cleveland does with Sexton and Garland, but I mean, I think, you know, common sense would be to put Garland at the point and put Sexton at the two, but
Sexton can't shoot, which is why Garland's at the two.
But Sexton's more of a scorer than Garland, I believe. So
yeah, I feel you. It's interesting, but yeah. Sorry to go over the Cleveland tangent.
Yeah.
3, Minnesota Timberwolves. Did Minnesota need a point guard?
No, they got D'Angelo Russell, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, they're not in need right now.
Number 4, Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks need a point guard.
Trae Young.
This is what I'm saying. When you look at all these groups, right? The real threats to me is Detroit, who's at 5, and subsequently we are at 6, the Knicks. And then there's also Chicago and Charlotte. You hope that the ping pong balls fall enough where we're ahead of them since they're behind us anyway. That's the hope anyway. So I can really see the Knicks ending up with Killian Hayes. Unless somebody trades up or maybe, you know. I can see a scenario when someone who doesn't need LaMelo Ball drafts him and then trades him for whatever.
It could be. But what I do find interesting, though, is that he interviewed with Orlando. Like, does Orlando did they make a trade to where they're going to be in the lottery? Because isn't Orlando currently like the 8th spot or something like that?
Right now, if I'm looking, Orlando is currently in the 15th spot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're in the playoffs in the East, right? They're like the 8th seed, right? Behind the Nets?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they're out of the lottery, though. They're out of the lottery. They're in the 15th
Yeah,
spot.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I find it kind of weird that he interviewed with Orlando. That's why I'm saying, did Orlando make a trade to where they might possibly have a lottery pick?
That's what I'm saying. They probably might be looking to trade one of their assets to move up.
Maybe.
Or some of them assets. Or they could be doing what, a lot of teams do. Interview a bunch of people just in case there's a scenario, after the rookie contract is done, they're kind of familiar with them already and they can plug them into the organization. That's kind of what Perrin was doing with the Utah Jazz, because that can also be a scenario as well.
True.
But who knows? Celtics, though, I feel like, they already have...
They got Kemba.
Yeah.
They got Marcus Smart.
Right.
But I don't know, though. Danny Ainge he be slick with his things, though. Like, he be slick. So I don't know.
Yeah, you never know with that guy.
Yeah.
You never know with that guy, man. You never know. He's a sneaky little devil. Yeah. And I know the Cardinal argument to this, too, is a lot of people feel like, ooh, well, maybe Killian can play the 2 since he's so, he's tall guard. Maybe he can play the 2. I don't really see him as a 2. To be honest with you.
Watching this game, he looked like a point guard to me, but I guess he can work in a 2-point guard backcourt, though. So I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, to me, I see more Halliburton sliding into that 2 spot more seamlessly than Killian can, at least at this moment. But I mean, it is a possibility he can be a 2-2 as well if he works on his spot up shooting, since his 3-point shooting has been bad in spots, but pretty good on step backs when the ball is handed already. So I can see, kind of see the argument. But still, maybe it's me being a hopeful Knicks fan and trying to dissect all this. If we don't get LaMelo, I'm cool with Killian. Also cool with Kira.
Yeah, I mean, there's secondary options, that I would be cool with as well if we don't get LaMelo, with Killian being one of those. So yeah, I'm with it. Knicks interview away. Do what you got to do.
Right. And maybe you trade up too if they ain't trying to kill us over the head with a trade with like 600 first round picks or something. Hey, take my first round from this year and Clippers pick.
Yeah, and I'm just letting it know right now. We got Julius Randle. You can get him at a discount. All you gotta do is give us a first round pick. You can take Julius Randle. That's all you need to do.
It is. Brand new, spanking.
Exactly. All you gotta do is give us a first round pick. That's all we want.
That's all we want. Spin moves included.
Word.
Oh man. Shout out to Julius. All right. Next on the docket on this rapid fire show, Knick of Time. Yeah, with all the happenings going on, we all know the Knicks are missing the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
But because Knicks is missing the playoff, the NBA is thinking about launching a bubble league, not in Orlando, but in Chicago, for the teams that did not make the playoffs, right? So this is what Rose reported. The NBA is closing in on signing off on a second bubble in Chicago for the 8 teams that were not invited in Orlando, enabling mini training camps and subsequent games against other clubs with a target date of September.
Okay.
So you thinking, oh look, there could be some Knicks basketball, but no. The Knicks have a lot of guys who are going to be free agents soon. So it's also reported that the Knicks were the only one of the 8 teams to miss the NBA conference call Thursday that proposed bringing the non-Orlando clubs to Chicago. Now, it was reported that, it's not an indication that the Knicks are interested, but then you're reading all these reports that says the Knicks aren't interested. So it's kind of contradicting each other. They contradict each other. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But look for the Knicks to duck it. Possibly. They're pushing to have a training camp that starts a little bit earlier. And before that, the bubble opens in their hometown and proceed that way. What are your feelings on that, Ryan?
Well, first and foremost, the supposed reason as to why the Knicks didn't attend the meeting or whatever was because they said that they're on their coaching search and they want to hire a coach first before they make any decisions, which I think that's probably a BS excuse, but but I look at it this way because the Knicks currently has structure. Like you said, they have a lot of upcoming free agents, and so far from what you've seen, like the players, like a lot of players who aren't really participating in the bubble league coming up later this month is because they're either becoming free agents or health reasons or whatever the case may be. And you would think that, with the Knicks having so many free agents upcoming, if the Knicks are to enter the league, there's a good chance like maybe the Knicks are going to be without maybe half their roster or something like that, and then they're gonna have to fill up the team with like G League players, whatever the case may be.
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean, I don't know, man. Like to me personally, I'm like playing basketball is always a good thing, because you have young players and it's good to just let them be out there, ball, gain experience, whatever the case may be. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's such a different time right now with COVID running around and things like that, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, let them sit, man. Like if I'm a free agent, I'm not playing. For what? Not winning nothing. Like if anything, it'd be cool to see Kenny Wooten run up and down the court. It'd be cool to see, Lamar Peters run up and down, Jared Harper to see what they got.
Yeah.
I would like to see some of the young guys too, Kevin Knox and Mitch, but I'm not sure the Knicks are even willing to risk those guys playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'll remain to be seen.
I mean, at this point, it's like if you're gonna really play in the bubble league, it's either A, you have a chance to win a championship, or B, you need the money. So I mean,
right?
So, like those are really the only two main reasons as to why you would play in the bubble league right now.
Well, for the Knicks, it's more like C. These young guys need the reps.
Yeah,
because half of these young guys didn't really get to play. Leon Rose didn't really get to evaluate some of these guys like he wanted to, and we still didn't see guys like Iggy, who was reported to be, on his way to being called up.
Yeah.
So it will really be for the young guys to see what they got, you know what I mean? And get into shape. And even Dotson too, yo, free Dot.
Yeah, free Dot, man.
I want to see Dot play. But I have mixed feelings about it. I don't want anybody to get sick or anything. But I would like to see a young guys progress for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's also been reported that the staff, like you said, they're interviewing coaches and they're taking July off. They will not be doing any more research. How to put this? They're not doing any more research on the NBA draft prospects. It's going to be all about the coach. And they just finished interviewing Jason Kidd, a guy we talked about last week, and a gentleman by the name of, I believe, Will Hardy, who was a Spurs coach, a guy who's supposed to be next in line possibly to Popovich. and also is a video guy and a scout. Somebody's highly touted over there in the Spurs, along with Becky Hammond, along with Tim Duncan. So that is personal. Yeah, what do you make of all these coaches being here too, man? Like this coaching search, including all the assistants. Because when I look at this, I don't think the assistants really have a shot.
I mean, at this point, like a part of me is like, okay, the Knicks are doing their due diligence by interviewing all these head coaching candidates, but to me, it's also like it also kind of worries me in a way because it's like, okay, you have all these coaching candidates, like you haven't narrowed it down to like 2 or 3 that you may think that will actually be good for the team. You're interviewing like 10, 11 head coaches. Like, I'm not even sure if I've even heard of that before. I don't even know of a team that's done that before. So to me, it's kind of like you're doing too much due diligence, you know?
I don't think there's anything called too much due diligence. I do feel like it's smoke and mirrors though. Like it's weird to me to have Kenny Atkinson, Jason Kidd, Mike Tom Thibodeau in the group with like Hardy and Mosley, and like I don't see them seriously. I don't see them seriously trying to hire an assistant coach to be with the Knicks as the head coach, unless they're doing something where they're trying to consider him as an assistant coach. Maybe that's the only thing I can see happening. Like it just doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if one of the assistants do become head coach of the Knicks, it's only going to be because that person blew them away in the interview process, and they're like, this guy, there's something special about this guy, and that's why we hired him. But if you want to be realistic, probably the guys that have the best chance at becoming Knicks head coach is either Tom Thibodeau, Kenny Atkinson, Mike Miller. Am I missing somebody?
I mean, Knicks players are still want Woody here, man. We just interviewed Raymond Felton and Rasheed Wallace, and both of those guys had glowing recommendations for Woody. They both said that he can relate to the young guys. He lets a man be a man. He holds everybody accountable, and he feels like he'll be able to adapt. He was able to, adapt to, shooting more 3-pointers, and he feels like that made a move. I was like,
Well, the one thing Woody does have for him is the fact that the last time Knicks had a winning season, he was the head coach.
I'm saying, so he will hold people accountable. I'm not for it though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still not. But I appreciate it though.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, Rasheed Wallace and Raymond Felton going to co-sign for him because he was their coach. So they're going to co-sign for him regardless.
Yeah, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because ask Carmelo Anthony if he co-signed George from the Nuggets. And I bet you he would say no.
But I mean,
Rasheed definitely doesn't.
I mean, Melo need to be more grateful.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying Melo need to be more grateful because Melo became the player he was under George Karl. So I mean, he need to be more grateful.
I don't know about that one. George Karl was talking hella.
Yeah, he was though. Yeah, George Karl was talking kind of reckless a bit.
Yeah, he was talking hella.
Yeah.
When they left, yo. I don't know if I'm grateful about that guy. He can
Yeah.
He can kiss a dark meat. I don't care about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You got a point there. Yeah,
for sure. I know I got a point. Ow. We're not doing ooh picks today again. Sorry, Alex. Don't kill me, Alex. Don't. Yo, he's gonna kill me.
I mean, what do you expect us to do? There's no basketball on, so we can't really do any ooh picks unless we're gonna pick some old stuff.
I'm the ooh pick right now. I'm gonna make one up. I just figured it.
All right.
Ooh pick. My ooh pick goes to somebody we call the dance instructor. But he became famous, or he became close to Knicks fans' heart. Ooh, pick goes out to Jamal Crawford.
Okay.
Yeah. For doing nothing. Just killing it in his workout videos.
Jamal Crawford out still out here balling?
Jamal Crawford was showing, I think it might have been his son or somebody, some of his combo moves from the 3-point line. And he was doing his little double behind the back, skip to Malu to the right, fade away 3-point. Yeah, he did a few of those, hit 2 or 3 in a row. And I'm sitting there looking like, damn, Crawford he still got a little juice left. Why is he not in the league? And somebody tweeted, because he can't play defense. I was like, but Crawford couldn't really play defense to begin with. So,
I mean, if you want to be real about it, there's a lot of players in the NBA who can't play defense and they're still playing.
I'm just saying. And they can't do the little behind the back fade away off the 3 trick that Jamal Crawford does. So
exactly. They can't even score like Jamal Crawford.
I'm just saying. Oh, he's a bucket. So my ooh pick goes to Jamal Crawford for just showing us that lovely video.
All right, Jamal, former Knick. Once a Knick, always a Knick.
Once a Knick, always a Knicks.
Except for Bargnani.
Oh, no, we don't claim that. Definitely don't claim that at all.
Nope.
Don't want that. All right. Now that the bootleg ooh pick is out the way, I got you, Alex. I still got you. Time for the other part of the show. The bruh picks. Bruh picks are usually the worst plays of the week or something that happened in life that I just want to point out. But, since there's no basketball, it's going to be some life stuff. Ryan, bruh man from the 5th floor, as we like to call him, do you have any bruh picks today?
I have one bruh pick. This one might be pretty deep, but there's a message behind it, though.
Oh, man. Let's get serious.
So, the bruh pick goes to the NBA, the NFL, or pretty much, any sports league out there, really, that are trying to pander to the movement. And this is why I say that, because there's a saying from Malcolm X that says, basically he said something along the lines of, the oppressors are going to do symbolic things to appease black people instead of making the real change that needs to be made. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate that the NBA is allowing, the players to have messages on their jerseys and have Black Lives Matter on the court, and how the NFL said that they're gonna play the Black National Anthem or whatever the case may be before games. But I just don't want that to overshadow the changes that needs to be made within the country, which is to end systemic oppression, systemic racism, and to reform the justice system and to have black people in this country treated fairly.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to put that out there.
All right. That's a bruh. That's an easy bruh. And for those people listening, for those people watching on YouTube, there will be a link in the bio. A link in the description. I'm sorry. To the Black Lives Matter tree, we show you where you can sign up for petitions, you can donate, shows you about all the causes going on, it shows you how you can help, shows you how you can, feed your mind with information. It's a nice little link tree that'll give you everything, a lot of information. So definitely go in the description, click that, donate, sign petitions, keep it moving going. All right, cool.
Yes, sir.
My bruh pick goes to the one, the only Kanye West.
Oh, man. I forgot about Kanye, man.
How did you forget?
Oh man,
My man is passionate too. My man is passionate. Kanye is nothing but passionate. But after all this mess, Kanye decides he wants to put in his bid for president. Kind of catchy catchphrase too. He does mention, 2020 vision at the end of his little run. He's like, oh,
yeah, hashtag 2020 vision.
hashtag 2020 vision. But just the fact that on Twitter he made his announcements that he'd be running for president in 2020, it just seems like a joke. You know what I mean? It's like first of all, at this point, it's damn near impossible to enter the race right now, which is in a practical manner. Second of all, I just hate that it just seems like any old body can run for president right now, man.
Yeah, it should.
The floodgates open now.
It shouldn't be that way. I mean, once you saw Trump get into office, it pretty much opened the floodgates. Now everybody's saying they can become president. Everybody.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry,
Bruh.
bro, for you. Also, secondary, bro, for Elon Musk who co-signed that mess.
Yes, but see, here's the thing though. Like, if this was old school Kanye, I would have probably been like, it's wild, but maybe. But now this new Kanye and the comments he made he made not too long ago about slavery being a choice and this and that. I'm like, I don't know if I want that Kanye in office. Like, I don't know about that.
Let me help you. I don't want that Kanye in office. No, I don't knows about that. No means no.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely love to see a black man as president or a black woman as president, but please, somebody else. Somebody else.
Anybody.
Somebody else, please.
K-Steele for president. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Kathy, we with you. Kathy, we with you.
I don't know. That might be a bad move too. I'm sorry, Kathy. I can see him making some crazy rule so that Kyrie Irving isn't allowed to leave Brooklyn.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is true.
We all know Kathy Petty.
Oh yeah, one more, bro.
Okay.
The Washington Redskins.
Bruh.
And matter of fact, Nike, FedEx,
Bruh.
all of them.
Bruh.
Because I'm like, y'all knew from years ago the Redskins name was offensive. And y'all didn't want to put pressure on the Redskins then. But now since since there's been a shift in the country, supposedly with all these protests and everything, now all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Let's finally put pressure on the Redskins and get them to change their name. Like, come on, y'all could have done this 10, 20 years ago. Like, come on now.
Listen. Shit. Money talks, man.
Yeah.
Money talks. Y'all know the money talks. When people start losing money, that's when things start to get sticky.
Yeah.
So they didn't care. They knew, but they didn't care.
Yeah.
They care now, though. As long as you affect their pockets. That's all it really matters.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. It's a good way to end it off, though. That was our show. Hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to Dash Radio for housing us.
Dash.
Shout out to 2K. Shout out to Edson. Shout out to Kathy. If you like the show, definitely listen on SoundCloud.com/NickTime YouTube.com/NickTime Also now on Dash Radio. Also on Spotify and all that jazz. So definitely listen, watch us on those channels. Also follow us on social media. TheKLTShow.com. I mean the KLT Show. My bad. No.com. Also follow us on Instagram, Nick Time Show. Also read our blogs. Definitely there's gonna be a new coaching article dropped by our guy Jeff. Definitely watch out for that. It should be out by the time this episode drops. And yeah, that is all. You can also follow me if you want to at J.Ellis Draws Things on Instagram. That's JELLIS Draws Things, and I draws thing like that Knox t-shirt behind me. Hey,
one more year, one more season.
Kevin's putting in work, right? He's putting in work.
He better. I see him with Lethal Shooter. Okay, I see you, Kevin Knox. I see you, fan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I need to put the Knox drop on this next week. All
right.
But yeah, where can they find you, sir?
They can find me on Instagram at Sir G is Chillin'.
Sir G is chillin'.
That is SIR. G is CHILLIN. And you, as you can see, I got the mic upgrade so you can hear me loud and clear.
I can't make fun of you now. All right. Next step, you're gonna upgrade that camera, boy. You can stop being big ass squares on the screen.
Word. Yeah, facts.
Sound first, though. Sound first.
Yes. For
SoundCloud and Dash Radio and Peoples.
Word.
All right. Steps. We getting there. That is our show. Thanks for listening to the show on this week. But you know, y'all got a lot of long ones to go through. Check in the archive. We out of here.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.